The impossible has finally happened. Emu is down. Loki can't believe what he's seeing, and neither can the readers. After years of waiting, One Piece chapter 1187 finally gives us the battle everyone has been dreaming about, Luffy versus Emu. But that's only the beginning, because this chapter changes everything we thought we knew. The chapter starts right after Luffy lands his punch. Loki is completely shocked because he just saw someone actually hurt Emu, something everyone believed was impossible for hundreds of years. Emu gets blasted backward, but while flying through the air, something strange happens. Two black flames suddenly appear, created by Emu himself. These flames don't act like normal fire. They move on their own, almost like they are alive. This also supports an interesting theory. These black flames seem to be connected to the stigma or curse mark that Emu uses later in the chapter. That could mean Emu's powers work by placing a curse or mark on people instead of simply attacking them directly. Loki is still surprised, but he gives Luffy some credit. At the same time, he says Luffy only managed to hurt Emu because Loki had already weakened him first. Luffy doesn't argue back. Instead, he looks at Loki's injuries and tells him to sit down and rest. That answer annoys Loki even more because it feels like Luffy doesn't see him as a real rival. Then both black flames land. One lands near Luffy, and the other lands near Loki. For a moment, both of them panic because they have no idea what these flames actually do. But they don't have time to think. Emu attacks immediately. From a distance, he creates a black flame sword and drives it straight through Loki's chest. The attack is so powerful that Loki loses his grip on Ragnir. The scene then changes to Nami's group, who are still trying to free Gunko from the giant block of ice. Brook and the others have already tried everything they can, but nothing works. Frankie even says the ice is as hard as diamond. That raises an interesting question. Is this just normal ice, or is it strengthened by an ice devil fruit power, maybe something as strong as Aokiji's abilities or even a completely new type of ice power? Nami is clearly worried as everyone continues checking the frozen Gunko. Suddenly, Loki crashes down right in front of them after being hit by Emu's attack. A moment later, Ragnir also falls and lands directly on top of the ice block. Both Loki and Ragnir are badly damaged. But something interesting happens. Wherever Ragnir touches the ice, it starts melting. This could mean Ragnir has some kind of heat or fire ability instead of being just a normal weapon. Brook notices the melting ice immediately and becomes worried about what it could mean for Shuri. The story then returns to Luffy and Emu. Emu tries to use the same attack on Luffy by aiming the marked omen at him. But this time, Luffy reacts much faster. He quickly removes his cloak, the one carrying the mark, and throws it away. The stigma hits the cloak instead of Luffy, giving him the chance to create some distance between himself and Emu. The scene now shifts to Zoro near the seaport beside the Rainbow Bridge, where he stands face to face with Summers. Summers recognizes Zoro immediately but is confused because he thought Zoro was still in the western village. He tells Zoro to leave before making even more trouble. Zoro calmly replies that Summers is ruining the Giants' reunion feast. Summers apologizes and explains that they only came to Elbaf to take around 10 or 12 giant children. He also says that his partner is already bringing them and should arrive soon. Zoro answers with a cold reply. He says that partner isn't coming back. When Summers asks how he knows, Zoro simply says that the partner is going to die. Without saying Sanji's name, Zoro is making it clear that he believes Sanji will defeat Gillingham. Summers doesn't like that answer and attacks immediately, but Zoro easily dodges the attack. The story then moves to Sanji in the western village. Zaza is still holding the giant children hostage. Sanji lights a cigarette and explains why he hasn't acted yet. First, Zaza is simply too huge, and hearing the giant mothers crying makes him feel terrible. Second, Zaza is a woman, and Sanji's personal code will never allow him to kick a woman, no matter what. Third, because of that same code, he can't even join the giants' fight against her. So he is forced to stand there while listening to the mothers cry. Then Sanji realizes something important. The real problem isn't Zaza. The real enemy is Gillingham, the one controlling everything from behind the scenes. Sanji rushes forward and kicks Gillingham. Gillingham blocks the kick and tries to move away, but Sanji doesn't let him escape. He tells Gillingham that this fight ends now. Gillingham isn't worried at all. He believes he is immortal and can regenerate from almost any attack. Confident in himself, he orders Zaza to leave and deliver the captured giant children to Summers. Then Sanji says something that finally makes Gillingham stop. Sanji says he knows Gillingham's weakness. Gillingham doesn't believe him. He challenges Sanji and says that if he really knows the weakness, then he should use Conqueror's Haki to defeat him right now. While they continue fighting, Gillingham strikes Sanji with his trident spear. As Sanji is knocked backward, he remembers something Gabon told him earlier. Gabon reminded him that Luffy is now officially one of the 4 emperors. The message is clear. If Sanji wants to keep protecting his captain and his crew in this new era, he has to become even stronger. That memory continues into another conversation with Gabon. Sanji once asked him if he could ever use Conqueror's Haki. Gabon answered that not yet. But he also said Sanji has the qualities needed to awaken it one day. According to Gabon, Sanji's real problem isn't his strength. It's that he still has doubts about who he truly is. Gabon believes that awakening Conqueror's Haki requires someone to see themselves as a king in their own way. That creates an interesting question. What is Sanji still struggling with? Is it his identity, his past, or his place within the Straw Hat crew? This could be setting up a much deeper story connected to Sanji's Germa bloodline. Finally, the story returns to the biggest moment of the chapter. Luffy and Emu stand face to face once again. Luffy is now fully in Gear 5. For the first time, Luffy openly confirms what the story has been building toward for years. He is Joy Boy. But the final moment changes everything. Instead of accepting that title, Luffy becomes angry when Emu calls him Joy Boy. Luffy gives a simple but powerful answer, "My name is Luffy. And I'm going to become the next Pirate King." Not Joy Boy's successor, and that's how One Piece chapter 1187 comes to an end. With Emu standing face to face against Gear 5 Luffy, Sanji taking another step toward unlocking Conqueror's Haki, and Zoro confidently trusting Sanji to win, the Elbaf arc is reaching a whole new level. But the biggest question still remains, will Luffy accept the name Joy Boy, or will he continue to carve his own path as the future Pirate King? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What was your favorite moment from this chapter, and what do you think will happen next? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest One Piece updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So that's all for today.